key, okay? Yeah, credit is key, y'all. Cash, that $1 that you spent with cash, don't bring you back nothing. But if you go swipe that dollar with your credit card, you're going to get interest back. You're going to get rewards. You are going to get things that are going to help you build your credit limits, help you get access to more money, more finances, right? So I really need us to stop thinking in this mindset of like consciousness means, oh, I'm not supposed to have material things. I'm not supposed to have good things. My ancestors slept on gold, okay? What's your ancestors slept on? They slept on gold. So we should have nothing but the best. Don't feel guilty if you want that nice car. Don't feel guilty if you want nice things. I just opened a smoothie bar and spa right around the corner. It's called the Zen Bar.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
When you visit, you will see it is all royal vibes. As soon as you walk in, it's luxury. It is the best of the best because that's what we deserve. That's what we should have. Even when you just coming in and pick up a smoothie, you should feel royal energy. You should feel like the kings and queens that you are. So that's what I did with building the Zen Bar. Again, y'all come check me out. I ain't gonna talk too much about that right now, but come check us out. We got smoothies, we got massages, facials, Reiki, foot detoxes, everything. And again, yoni steams, all in class and luxury, okay? Because that's what we deserve. And we got naughty bites in the building also. You can come and get their chocolate wine over there. You can come get their vegan popcorn, vegan snacks, vegan corn chips. And we just recently put on the menu, we got the barbecue jerk jackfruit wraps, okay? We got the curry chickpea wraps. So y'all come check us out. Come check us out at the Zen Bar. You will not be disappointed. And again, get on your money, okay? Period. All right, let me not go on too long because I'll go forever. My brother Patah, where you at? You in the building? Patah? Okay, perfect. So, this next guest, this next king that I'm about to bring to the stage, y'all, he is a master at so many things. Let me tell y'all. Today, so first off, he's the master in astrology. He can tell you anything you need to know, literally by looking at you. And I ain't gonna go too much in that because he's also the master of tantric work, sexual shadow work, and things of that nature. And that's what he's gonna come up here and talk to you guys about today. So please help me welcome Patah to the stage.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I think something like this is very necessary at a time like this, being a beautiful age cosmically where we can be really having grown conversations, woke conversations, I guess, and I mean real grown conversations, mature, where we can talk about sex in a way that's beneficial to our psyche, to our soul, and to our relationships. I'm talking about on every level because first of all, the first relationship starts with yourself, right? So I think we got beautiful black women in here, beautiful black men in here. I think we can all talk about sex in a way where we can be educated, we can have a conversation where it's not political, it's not misogynistic, it's not low vibrational, when we can talk about it in a healthy manner, right? So we all can say that we all masculine and we all feminine, right? And so I think we all know that that's a cosmic thing, to know that that's a great cosmic mother, right? We all got a grandmother, we all got a psyche, so we all got archetypes. So we talking psychology now. We're not just talking about sex, so we're not just talking about tantra in the physical sense. We're talking about something on a spiritual level, an emotional level, right? So when we talk about psychology, I want everybody in here tonight to understand something. When you hear psychology, it ain't no Western clinical term. It's occultism. And I'm an occultist, okay? So we ain't talking no conscious shit tonight. We're talking occultism. And occultism is something that in the conscious community, I don't think we talk enough about because we don't talk enough about psychology. Because you cannot understand the archaic nature that our ancestors spoke if we do not understand psychology. And the only way that you can get out of this maze. And the only maze that you got is the labyrinth in your mind. That's what our ancestors spoke about every single day while they was down here. How do you get out of here? And the only way you get out of here is when you know how to balance the scale. And how do you balance the scale? You got to balance your masculine and your feminine energy. I hope y'all hear me, man. You got to balance your masculine and your feminine energy. Everybody got an archetype. We talk about astrology because astrology is about knowing. It ain't about believing no more. It's about knowing. So you got to know yourself. Right? Everybody got a moon sign. I hope everybody know their moon sign. I hope everybody know their rising sign.
Yes, sir.
Everybody know their sun sign though, right? But you need to know your moon sign though.
Nah, for real.
You need to know your moon sign. Because the sun sign only speaks to how the soul want to express itself. Okay? The moon sign determines how you nurture yourself. Because that's your moon. Everybody got a mama, everybody got a daddy, but guess what? Everybody gonna leave here too, right? So when you leave here, you gotta learn how to nurture yourself. Now, why is that important? Because when you think about psychology and you think about Tantra, don't confuse Tantra with Kama Sutra. Don't confuse Tantra with Kama Sutra. That's just moves. You got to be able to move your spirit, your soul, and your sexual energy. Because guess what? Everybody deal with trauma, right? And guess what that is? That's Pluto, right? Everybody know a little something about astrology, right? Pluto. But guess what Pluto is also? It's the orgasms and it's the genitalia too, right? So everybody got sexual energy. It ain't nothing to be ashamed of, but you have to understand yourself because you have to understand what we dealing with down here. We're dealing with mastering self in a way that you have to know that you got a masculine side if you're a man. So you got to be okay with loving your brother. You got to see your brother as not no enemy because if you don't understand masculinity, in a time like this, you ain't gonna understand how we thrive for so long. The only way we can be real killers if you gotta look at your brother and know that nigga, I die for my brother, right? You gotta look at your women and know that I see my mom, I see my sister, right? I see all my queens, right? I die for them. That's real gangster talk, right? Now, why is that gangster talk? Because I got a mama, right? I got a grandmama. Now, I can't speak for past generations, but I know real gangsters. And if you say something about somebody's mama, you break in somebody's house, man, come on. Nigga, I sit down. It ain't no problem, right? Because that's love. That's nature. Self-preservation, right? So you got to nurture yourself too, so you got to love yourself. So what is real love? Real love going to start with how you nurture yourself. Do you know yourself? Do you know your sexual energy? Do you know your sexual archetypes? Now, why is archetypes important? Because archetypes gives a blueprint to the mind, right? It gives a blueprint to the mind. Every woman in here got a Mars sign, right? Do anybody know their Mars sign? I want this to be a synergy because we talking about Tantra. Tantra ain't just me performing. It's a synergy thing because it's a holistic sexual energy. Y'all all fucking right now. We all fucking. We having an orgy right now. A spiritual orgy. Now understand when I say a spiritual orgy, the whole universe is having sex right now because y'all hear about sex here. We're talking about creation. We're talking about creative energy, right? You got to understand that your sexual energy, your spiritual energy, and your creative energy is all one and the same. That's the Trinity. Okay? You are your own mother, your own father, your own child. You got to understand this is sexual energy. You have to be able to be an airbender. Do anybody know their Mars sign? You're Aquarius Mars? What's your Mars? You're Aries Mars? Okay. Tassili, what's your Mars?
Aries.
You're Aries Mars too, all right? So check this out. These are women who know their Mars sign. Now, what does that mean? When we talk about Tantra and archetypes and how does this all play into sexual shadow work and everything. When you understand your archetypical masculine nature as a woman, your masculine nature as a woman, what does that mean? Your masculine nature don't mean you are a man. It means you are the masculine, assertive nature of the feminine, right? That's also your sexual libido. That's the type of man you like. Why is that important? Because we're talking about nature. You need to know your nature because every single man ain't going to be the type of man for you. Now, why is that important, ladies? Because you may not know your own masculine nature to know that you might be fighting yourself outside of yourself because you don't even know what you needed. Same way with a man. What is your Venus sign? Who knows their Venus sign as a man? Who said Venus is sad? As a man, who's the man in here who know their Venus sign?
I forgot.
What's the Venus sign, comrade? He a Venus in Aquarius, okay. Venus in Cap, okay. Venus in Libra, now check this out. He said Venus in Aquarius. He cares more about a mental stimulation with the woman. The woman can look good, but guess what? If her mind is not open and progressive, am I right? Venus in Cap. I guarantee you, homie right here, he like women that are mature. And I say mature in the way of they gotta have that old lady soul, am I right? They gotta be an old lady. I'm talking about old lady, I'm talking they gotta be glad that she hit me. You ain't gotta be glad, it's like you like that soul. Why is that? Because Capricorn is the old woman. That's wise, that's wisdom, right? He said Venus in Libra. He like a woman that look good aesthetic. He like an Instagram IG type of woman. Aesthetic wise. But guess what? He like a woman that also likes to socialize. Somebody that he can go outside with. And she can act as a liaison for his feminine. Right? He got his own feminine, but his woman is also going to be a signature of him. Now, why is that important? Because everybody got a masculine and feminine side. I'm a Venus and Leo. I'm a Mars and Leo too. I'm an Aries moon. Now, as an Aries moon, what does that mean? That means that my maternal nature, you Aries moon too? Hey, gang, gang, gang. Well, you know we gang. One thing about an Aries moon, boy, it don't matter if it's a woman or a man, they're gonna be a force in the relationship. You might as well respect them, man. You hear me? You might as well respect them, man. You know? But seriously though, as an Aries moon, what does that mean for me? That means that my maternal nature, my moon, my maternal nature is Aryan. That means it's a masculine, nurturing nature. That means that I'm a man who can nurture the masculine energy and understand how to be self-sufficient with my nurturing energy, right? So that's the shadow side of Libra. It's about balance with every sign, but we have to know these archetypes. Why is that important? Because we all got a Pluto. Do anybody know what sign they Pluto is in?
Scorpio.
Generations, Pluto, Scorpio, Libra, Virgo.
Scorpio.
Pluto, Scorpio. Do anybody know what house?
Ooh. Man.
First house, it's Scorpio rising.
I don't remember the house.
I know about Scorpio rising, man. But so check this out. What does this mean when we deal with our Pluto? We dealing with understanding our trauma. Trauma is the entry point to healing. Understand this. Trauma is the entry point to healing. And when we talking about Tantra now with sexual shadow work, we cannot be scared to let it go. Because we talking about the rise of divine feminine. Hey, yeah, rise of divine feminine, right? 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 That means we can't suppress ourselves, ladies. I hope y'all hear me. We have a grown conversation, right? It's not something we should be uptight about, right? We're talking about sex, Tantra, creation, spiritual energy, right? Rise of divine feminine, right? Right? Right?
Yes.
Gang, gang, man. Hey, come on, man. Big Mama ain't playing, right? Big Mama said, hey, we all family. We all need to be able to be comfortable with ourselves. That's why we all got to move. Until you are comfortable with yourself, you cannot get out of here. Why you can't get out of here? Because you can only get out of here through the crossroads of the heart. But the heart is the psyche. And you got masculine and feminine energy, and they got to both equal out. Because you got to be able to see that in every single person. Because why? When you're dealing with Tantra energy, you're dealing with a creative force. It's almost like dealing with airbending. Okay? It's like airbending. And I'm talking about we moving in the age of Aquarius where you got to be able to utilize high intellect. So we're talking about mental androgyny now. Okay? Everybody got a left and a right brain, right? See, everybody talking conscious talk. We need to talk about psychology. Why? Because it's a labyrinth. And everybody that you deal with out here is dealing with trauma. And we're dealing with people when we say things like hurt people, right? What do hurt people mean? We're talking about H-E-R-D. That's a sheep mentality, hurt people. You will hurt people without knowing that you're hurting people. Why? Because you don't know how to free yourself. Because you're too busy restricting yourself. Do you understand what that means? Because if you're trying to get free, you do not restrict nobody. So we move into the age of Aquarius where you got to date your best friend. Because guess why? You treat your friends and you judge your friends a lot different than you do when you're dealing with your partner.
Stop that.
Because you don't know how to let people go without owning them. Right? Right? Yeah, we talking serious talk. Yeah. Because why? When you sexually free, you let everybody be free to be themselves, because we're talking about creative energy, spiritual energy. You ain't got no dominion over nobody's spirit. You can cultivate, just like you can cultivate your sexual energy. Do anybody do semen retention? I'm just saying, have anybody been 5 days? Look, if you've been locked up, my nigga, listen, man. Niggas don't want to talk about sex, right? That's why I like talking about shit like this in the conscious community, because we are conscious and we have to be conscious of our sexual energy, our creative energy, our spiritual energy, because it's one and the same, okay? When you deny yourself and restrict yourself on one, we ain't talking about restriction. Restriction is how you lose yourself. You need to channel yourself. When you hear restriction, restriction is channeling. Let's reprogram ourselves, because you got to be an airbender, okay? You don't siphon one off and you plug one part of yourself off. That part becomes atrophied, okay? We're talking sexual alchemy. We're talking about mental androgyny now, okay? Mental androgyny. Now, what is mental androgyny? Semen retention for the fellas. How many of y'all went 7 days without busting a nut?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. For
okay.
Sure.
How many people have went 30? And sometimes I ain't talking about default, because niggas all been locked down, but hey, niggas ain't trying to go and do that in there, you hear me? So you do that by default, but on your own. On your own. Just to test yourself. How did it make you feel, bro? Make it by share no. That's right? Every time. Why is that? Because when you understand that the two most powerful energy on the planet is going to be your hunger and your sex drive. Your hunger and your sex drive. What does that mean? That means that you got to know how to be able to integrate your sexual shadow. You got to be a killer and a nurturer, like nature. So that means when you have sexual discipline, you have insight beyond belief as a man. Because why is that important? Because when you hold your semen, you're storing up feminine energy. I need y'all to hear me. Every time you bust off, you release some feminine energy from yourself, and you release an aspect of magnetism for your brain to be able to tune into the spiritual realm. I'm going to tell y'all something else while I'm up here too, so you can understand what we're dealing with this corona shit, so we can talk about it. It's dealing with the black woman. It's dealing with a sexual energy. It's dealing with the fact that inside of every woman, we are aquatic beings as well. We're talking about Atlantean shit, right? We're talking about what's going on in Haiti right now. We're talking about mental androgyny, Atlantis. I hope y'all understanding that this is some deep decoding going on. Corona rising means a coronation. That's why everybody was talking about the Great Conjunction last year. Hey, got superpowers. Hey, yeah, we do. Now it's time to utilize it. That superpowers means you got to understand your sexual energy at a high level now, because as we go up, the vibration shift on the planet. You got to use your tuning fork. Masculine and feminine energy, mental androgyny, sexual energy. It's a tuning vessel. When you hold your semen, does that make you do not get in tune with your woman on every level and every woman around you? The magnetism is crazy. Easy. Airbending. And the woman can pay attention, they can feel it. They don't even know. I've nurtured a lot of guys. I got a Patreon page, we call it gold sacking, because you got gold sack when you hold it. And you glow. And the women cannot even tell what it is about you, but what it is that you got discipline. That's a high level of feminine energy as a man, to know himself, to be comfortable with himself, to know that he's powerful. And he could be in tune with his woman. He creates harmony. He creates harmony. So ladies, can you do the same thing? Can you program yourself to understand an aspect about men that when you drain him, I know we like to drain him. Right? That's what we say, right? Some people don't even know. And the men got to do what? The men got to tell them, nah, baby, I'm doing this, right? I'm on a little journey. Because we have not been programmed to understand that the woman is a negative charge at the yoni, right? The man is a positive charge at the phallus. He has a negative charge here. So what does that mean when a woman has a positive charge here? She want to get your heart before you get, so we got to do this little dance, right? That's tantra, right? That's the dance. So how do we synergize each other, empower each other up without feeling like we neglecting each other's spiritual energy, creative energy, right? And sexual energy. How do we do that? We understand each other by psychologically tuning each other, sexually tuning each other. We charge each other up. We have intimate conversations. We have vulnerable conversations. A man who's in control of his emotional nature is a man who knows that it's not weak to cry. That's a man who knows that it's not weak to tell his woman he loves her, to show her, right? A woman who understands that when she's in tune with her masculine side, when she knows her Mars sign, she can now know what type of man turns her on, right? Do anybody know their Mars sign? Yeah, let's go to that part real quick, huh? Yeah. Anybody know their Mars sign, huh? Scorpio? Okay. Virgo? All right, so we're going to go there. We're going to talk sexual shadow work. She said Mars and Scorpio. She likes some pain. She like mental stimulation, but she like pain. You know why she like pain? And I ain't talking about pain in a bad way, because we have to learn how to be what? Alchemists. Do you know how to turn your sexual pain into sexual joy? Do you know how to do that with Tantra? Do you know how to be a sexual healer? Mars and Scorpio. We all deal with things that's traumatic, right? Finding ways to do that for Mars and Scorpio is going to be of the psyche. It's going to be out of love. Because at the highest level, when you're dealing with Pluto, it got to be out of love. It got to be out of love. You can't deal with fear. You can't deal with jealousy, possessive. And that's one of the things that Scorpio works on the hardest, right? But she likes a man that is enigmatic, militant, magnetic, and somebody who is very cerebral. And I'm talking about cerebral of the psychic nature. Not a nigga who just talk, but a nigga who can penetrate a mind, right? That's an archetype. That's a sexual blueprint for you to deal with your sexual trauma. That's how you utilize astrology. That's how you utilize your own sexual nature. I'm Patal, y'all. I appreciate y'all, man.
Yo. I just learned a whole. Did y'all learn something? Give it up one more time. Cause I know he just called some people out. He just put some people's business on the floor. In your head though. You know what I'm saying? I know he had me over here looking at my chart. Look, if you ain't got the app, go to CoStar, okay? I was right up in here like, where my Pluto at? Y'all, I'm looking over here and my Pluto was in Scorpio. And literally everybody that know me know for the longest, I was like, I ain't talking to no more Scorpios. All my exes Scorpios. I ain't dealing with Scorpios no more. Then get what? I find out, I'm like, what the leave me alone? My first and second house is in Scorpio. I'm like, oh, guess we're attracted to each other.